Hey, welcome again, guys. We're doing our Black Excellence series. This time, I got Darius from Planet Fanatics here. Darius, shout out your channel real quick.
Planet Fanatics. We talk about all things movies, TV, streaming, hot topics, and more. So if you're ever interested, please come join us on Wednesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 to or maybe 6, depending on the day, the mood, the time. We're live during those times. We talk all your nerdy Marvel, DC, pop culture things.
Guys, subscribe, put the bell on. They'll let you know when it's going live. Pay attention. It's really good stuff. It's great stuff.
Appreciate it.
And before I do our show, I'm always watching. So just one of those
Well, I
things.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So we're continuing our Black Excellence series. This time we're going to talk about a great one, a great person, a great actor. This movie we're talking about is 42. Dude, if you don't know about Jackie Robinson, if you don't know about Chadwick Boseman, if you don't know about this movie and the stuff that they went through, dude,
this movie,
you need to stop. You need to go watch it.
Yeah, this movie is a great film. I actually just recently rewatched this not too long ago. I don't remember if it was on HBO. I don't know if it's on HBO Max currently or on Netflix. It's on Max. Okay, so I just recently rewatched it on Max not too long ago, and every single time I watch this movie, and no matter if it's this movie or any other movie that's from a period piece film like that that touches our community, I'm always so very grateful to the our ancestors that came before us, that fought, that made it possible for me and you to even be able to sit on this platform right now to have this conversation with blood, sweat, and tears. You know that and I don't want to take over, and I'm not trying to jump. If I'm jumping, please tell me.
No, please.
But the scene where he is being called the inn over and over and over and over and over and over again while trying to bat, that brings tears to my eyes. And it's tough when he goes into the hall and he breaks the bat. I'm honestly kind of choking up talking about it now because it's tough. It's tough when you watch what our people had to go through just to for existing, just to be. And it's a great film. It's not just a great film, a great actor, as you said at the very beginning, and another great man that has contributed so much to our history, so much to our culture, so much again to that speaks volumes to us being able to just sit here. That speaks volumes to those Black baseball players, those Black basketball players, football players, the chess players, the debate. Jackie, among many others, paved that road and made it possible. So I hat off to Jackie, hat off to Chadwick for his portrayal of Jackie in 42. Phenomenal, great film.
I think sometimes it hits me real hard to think of this as 1946. Just so everyone understands. So this happened in 1946, but Black people didn't get voting rights to 1968.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like, so when you're going to a team hotel, you had to go Jim Crow South. You have to go in the back of a hotel. You can't go into the front. You can't be with your team. You have to deal with all the bigotry and all of the vitriol that people spit at you. And do it with class. Do it because you realize you're doing it for something more than yourself. I hate to bring this up, but Jonathan Majors says something. I realize every time I go out, I'm doing something. I'm not just doing it for me. I'm doing it for everybody.
Right.
And that's what you got from this movement, the civil rights movement. But this is before those things. This is just to exist. He did all these great things. Ugh.
Yeah.
It blows me away. Usually I try to focus on what it did for the culture. This is a no-brainer. I mean, you talk about this is. I usually don't want to focus on the movie. I think I want to focus on the movie. I want to focus on the person. I want to focus on these actors that did these things. Because this movie really is about the back and forth between the coach and the player. It's really two men, and they're back and forth, and the bravery that Branch Rickey really had to bring in a Black face to the Dodgers.
Right.
That was huge. I mean, this is in Brooklyn.
And willing to lose current players over it. Yeah,
exactly. Just because he thought it's the right thing to do. I need to do this thing. And Jackie Robinson, Jackie Robinson was not the best player at the time, but he was the bravest to go through all the stuff that he was going through. And
Oh yeah,
I,
for
I,
sure.
I hate hearing when people say, "Yo, Jackie Robinson wasn't the best player at the time." It's not. Why would everyone focus on him? Because he was brave enough to go through all the stuff that we saw in this movie, plus more.
Right.
Because you know what it is to be a black man in 1946.
Right. Right. Like I said, like you said too, and that's Jim Crow era. I know a lot of people don't really look at history, and they look at Jim Crow era, and they look at the Jim Crow era, and they look at, well, blacks were no longer slaves. No, correction, blacks were still slaves. It was just a different form of slavery. It was still slavery, just a different form. So like when the whole mentioning of having, like Jackie couldn't sleep in the same hotels or as them and things like that. That's still a form of that you're controlling a people. That's still slavery. So whenever, like I don't want to switch it up on movies or anything, but you had brought up a point there when Jonathan Majors had said, I'm doing this for I'm sorry, quote it for me.
For my people, every time I walk out, I'm doing it for everyone behind me. I'm doing it for my entire people. Everyone, I can't mess up because it affects my entire everyone behind me. My entire race has to depend on me to do the right thing. That's crazy.
And that's something I thought he was trying to say in the recordings. Anyway, but to throw an example to that, it's kind of like, with the film Mudbound that's currently on Netflix. I encourage everyone to watch that. It's not my first time seeing it. It's just one it's a little tougher one to watch. But Mudbound, one thing that Mary J. Blige's character said in there was she watched her mother go in. Her mother took care of the white lady's kids when she was growing up and things like that. And she would always wonder why her mother would, go and take care of them over them sometimes. And then she says she realized that her mother was doing things for her family to survive. In order for our family to survive, I have to do certain things. I have to move a certain way. And it's the same thing, just like with Jackie.
If he messed up, they weren't going. No other black person was going to get through. The Negro Leagues was going to be all as far as you could go. That was it.
Yep. And like I said, it is a film that, again, I think that Chadwick really acts his ass off in, but also just the time period of that film and just the things that it did show. It didn't even show everything. We don't know everything that Jackie went through while playing for the Dodgers. It just showed us a glimpse into the time that he was with them and the racism that he dealt with and things like that. But anyway, overcoming that racism, still going out there, even after that scene where he goes in the tunnel, breaks the bat, he gets right back out there and still plays after being called out his name several times. And then if you watch in the stands, and that's something too. Again, I'm not trying to give a lesson or anything like that, but that's something too. When you watch in the stands, as he's being called the N-word, there's a little boy sitting next to his daddy. That's his dad starts calling him the N-word. And he's looking at his dad like, should I say this? Looking back at the crowd, like, like contemplating. Then he finally just says it because that's learned behavior. It's not, no one is born that. That's learned behavior. So when you're watching him go through that, kids calling him that, women calling him that, the dugout from the opposite team calling him that, the umpire ain't doing shit about it. But to get out there, muster up the courage to go out there and say, I'm not going to let this, you, or whatever else you got going on discourage me and my people from moving forward. Yep. Love it.
Having an idea that it's not just about you, not to be so individualized. Like, yes, you are an individual, but you're representing more. And that's something that I think that we've lost a little bit because America teaches individualism. They teach that it's about you, what you can do, what you can do, and not realizing that we only got this far because you did it for us. You did it for a reason. You realize you represent something. When you walked out the door, I tell I run all these Culvers. I own a couple of restaurants, and I tell my crew every single time, when you walk out the door, pretend that you have your last name on your back, because you're representing your entire family. And then now you're not just representing your entire family. You're representing every. So if you're a girl, you're female, you represent your mom, your grandmother. You represent every black woman that's there. If you're a male, you represent every black man, male that's in that area. You represent everyone. So you have to realize those things. It's not just about you and what you want to do. It's about how you're going to represent us. And when you walk out that door and you have that Culver shirt, and I'm the operator, I'm the owner, you also are representing me. And I'm going to do my best to represent you. You do the best you could do to represent me. And we can work hand in hand. And that is important. And that you lose that sometimes because you think it's all about me. And seeing Chadwick portray Jackie Robinson reminded me of that. Reminded me of that, how important it is that it's not just about me, it's about we.
Right. Yep. And that's another great theme. Again, like I mentioned previously, I do coach, and that was on the back of our jerseys. My 2021 kids last year, we had the we on one side, and then the greater than sign pointing to the we over the me. And on the back of their jerseys, because it's a we thing that's never in life ever. And I've used this. I'm use this as examples in basketball at practice. You want to play one-on-one? Okay, all four of you step off. You break this press alone. Break this press 5-on-1. If you think that you can do this alone, break this press. Another thing I've done with them is you stand here. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to have my assistant coach go to the end of the court. I'm going to chest pass this ball to him. If you beat the ball, I'll run. I'll run. I'll be amazed. If you beat the ball, I'll run. But if this ball travels down this court faster than you, why are you not passing the ball? It's like, it's team. It's the team effort things. It's, it is a we. It's never going to be a me. This is not a me sport. And that was something that, like you said, like seeing that in the other white players start to kind of come around to realize, especially that one scene where he puts his arm around him on the field. Mm-hmm. Great scene. Like just when they start to realize and come around, I forget which one it was that said, told the rest of the white players, I think it was the manager or something that told him, he's not he's not going to be the only one. There's going to be more coming into the league. So you might as well get used to it now. But when they started realizing that we're better with Jackie than we are against Jackie, he's already got enough people against him. He's on the team, so if we can just work with him. And you started seeing that, and it's great.
And he did that. He is the reason why other people were able to come in. He's the reason why we have an NBA that's the NBA. He's the reason we have Major League Baseball, where you have that's 40% from different countries and all this stuff. There was nothing there. It's all because of Jackie Robinson, and gotta give respect to him. And I don't want to go throughout this whole movie without saying Chadwick Boseman brought some of these great icons, African American icons, really to life. And
really
if you want to talk about James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, you talk about Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, that Thurgood one's good. Yeah.
And you know how I feel about T'Challa. Yeah. So like those type of things, it's beautiful to be able to see that. And I love when people realize, we are more than just what you see, what someone wants to portray you as. And I think he did a really good job of saying we're all these things, all this greatness. And I think that's the whole reason why I even do this Black Excellence, because I want that being so said. I want that being understood. Mm-hmm. You're not going to pigeonhole me.
Right.
I'm more. I'm everything.
Right. Right.
So,
and I think that's a very important theme to remember, that don't let the world confuse you into thinking that Black History Month can be condensed to the shortest month of the year. It can't. It can't. There's no way that you can relegate our history to the shortest month of the year. Black history is American history, and it deserves to be studied and looked at like all the other histories, 365, 24/7. And you know, it is what it is. Black history is American history. We've been here, we're going to be here, and I mean, we've helped build this nation, not just this nation, this world, honestly.
This world. That's why I know we're going over time, but I always say something that I saw in Book of Clarence is I love seeing black people in throughout history. Realize black people have been here forever. If everyone comes from Africa, guess what? Black people been through everything in history that's happened. We've been there. There's no way that we didn't just come out of nowhere because of slavery. No. That's not our culture. Our culture goes so far. I want you to be able to study it everywhere. Everything that happened in the world, black people were there. So
yeah, we were there. Those pyramids that they can't figure out, those eighth wonders, one of the eighth wonders of the world, we did that. Exactly. Don't let these movies fool you. Egypt is in Africa. They're black. They're black. So yeah, it's a real thing. No, you're right. So yeah.
All right, guys. This is all the time we have for the Black Excellence. I'm glad we talked about 42 and we got to the other topics, but I want you guys to talk about this. I want you to comment. I want you to share. Let everyone know that this is what we're doing. This is important. Once again, Black Excellence doesn't just happen. We're focusing in February, but this is something that should be talked about all year round. Black excellence is everywhere you look. It's, you know, at the person on, you know, owning up his own business. It's the person who's spending time with the kids. It's all that. Black excellence is everywhere, and you should be noticing it and noting it. So yes. That's huge. Darius, thank you again for coming on. Shout out your channel one more time, please, man.
Planet Fanatics, please come over and hang out. Again, we are live on Wednesdays and Thursdays at the moment, 5:30 Central Standard Time. Talking all, especially right this time, we're talking all the Deadpool things going on. So if you're into those leaks, rumors, please. Got some things I need to share anyways. We got to talk about it.
Deadpool, Wolverine. I'm all for it. You know, you got my heart. You see all my comic books. If you,
yeah, that's my most anticipated, man. I cannot wait.
Oh, that's gonna be the best one. I can't wait till July. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be the best thing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for paying attention. Thanks for watching. Comment, share, like. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.